Imagine the relief you feel on graduation day. No more sleepless nights studying or retaining textbook information. No more worrying about grades. You feel prepared and finally at ease. You have even managed to land a few job interviews. But then, with a quick look around, you come to the realization that there are thousands of other graduates who are also looking for the same opportunities as you. You thought the stress was over, but after a few interviews, you come to learn that the struggle has just begun. You ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Instead of concentrating on what you are doing wrong, understand what others are doing right. How are these people able to land a great job? What makes them stand out, and what do employers look for in job applicants? Let's begin with a little background information. On average, the age of a college student graduate is 25 years, give or take. Soon after receiving their degrees, eager to commence their life, graduates begin searching for employment in their respective careers. So, when you think about it, each year the job market adds a fresh batch of graduates to the already active job-seeking community who may either have lost their job or are looking for new opportunities. As you can imagine, the job market is a very competitive place, especially for a green newbie with no relevant work experience. This hardship can be seen in unemployment rates. According to the Economic Policy Institute, in March 2014, 14.5% of workers under the age of 25 were considered to be unemployed. If we compare these numbers to the percentage of unemployed workers of all ages, we can see that unemployment rates among workers under 25 are over double the rates of all workers.
When beginning your job search, it is important to remember that no matter what you have studied, it is always acceptable to change your path later in life based on your passions. Consider your strengths, goals, and core values when applying to careers. Make sure you will be fulfilled by the position you are trying to secure. Do you remember always being told to ask questions in an interview? Well, this is the time to make sure the position and company is the right fit for you too. Get creative with your questions. Not only will it set you apart from the other applicants, but you can learn a lot more about the company's attitudes and values by asking an unconventional question, such as, how would you handle a dispute between two employees? Or even why the interviewer themselves enjoys working at the company. But you have to be prepared for these types of questions to be spun back at you too. Most importantly, think ahead and ask yourself why you are applying to this specific job. Why is it good for you? What can I bring to this position? Once you gather your core beliefs and goals, it is important to figure out what makes you special. Your goal is to be a unicorn. You need to be unique, interesting, and one of a kind. Highlight what makes you stand out from the crowd, especially other eager job seekers. Really track down who you are and learn to sell those unique qualities about yourself by making them applicable to the workforce.
Which brings us to our next point, confidence. One of the key ingredients to a successful job interview is self-confidence. You need to be secure in who you are and know that you will excel in the desired position. In order to prove to your potential employer that you will be the perfect fit, you need to show that you have taken the time to research the job requirements, the company, and most importantly, yourself. So when you enter the job interview, make sure you have a clear and confident vision to where you see yourself down the road and how your future goals will be beneficial to that company in some way. You will also need to show your interviewers that you are excited to join the team with a willingness and desire to learn and grow within the company. Now that you are confident in who you are, what you are passionate about, and how your personality suits you for this position, it is time to prepare for the actual interview. Just as you would never consider taking an important exam without studying, you should never interview without practicing. A good way to do so is by formulating responses to some of the most common questions asked in an interview. By preparing your responses ahead of time, you allow yourself to give genuine and honest answers without feeling overwhelmed. You can also tailor your responses to highlight why you would be a good fit for this position. If you would like access to and help in forming responses to some of these questions, we've provided a link below. Now that you've mentally prepared yourself, it's important to look the part. Whatever company you are interested in, you must show up to your interview in professional attire. This is one of the unwritten rules of the job-seeking industry. But what does that mean exactly? Take a look at the photo in the slide. Notice how the applicant looks well-groomed and overall presentable? To an employer, this represents self-discipline, self-care, and organizational skills. So don't forget, your first impression matters. Not only is your outward appearance important, but you must also make what I call the secret handshake in order to make that good first impression. Every employer knows this and will judge your execution of this handshake when you initially meet them. The secret handshake entails that you make a firm handshake with straight posture and maintain eye contact when you introduce yourself and greet the team. So, to recap, in order to increase your chances of landing your dream career, you first need to establish who you are, where you want to end up, what your skills are, and your unique qualifications. Then you need to prepare yourself by researching the company and practicing common interview questions. Finally, on the day of the interview, present yourself professionally and confidently. Show the interviewers why you are the perfect candidate. However, sadly, no matter how good your first impression was and how well you prepared, it is inevitable that you will not always get the job offer or even a call back. So don't be discouraged. Just think of it as a learning experience and know that the perfect job for you is still out there, waiting. Interviewing is just like dating after all. There are some unwritten basics that you must abide by, but be sure never to change your values just to get a job. The right job will come around, and every denial simply brings you one step closer to that perfect fit.